All right, let's get straight to it. 2015 Toyota Corolla. Today we are changing inner and outer tie rods. This is pretty much everything you will need. So to start off, you're going to need a special tool to get off the inner tie rods. So this is a inner tie rod removal tool. You can rent one of these from Advance, AutoZone, O'Reilly's, places like that. They also make other different types. So yours may not look exactly like this, but we'll show you how to use this later on in the video. The other things you're going to need a 19 millimeter to get this castle nut off of the outer tie rod, and also to tighten the new one. You're going to need a 21 millimeter to hold that tie rod there while you break the nut loose on the inner tie rod. You're going to need a 24 millimeter for the nut on the inner tie rod. You're going to need a 15 millimeter to hold the inner tie rod. Over here I have a 17 and a 22 millimeter. That's because I know the tie rod that I have to get off the old one, the castle nut on that one for some reason is a 17, not a 19, and the inner tie rod, the nut on that one is a 22, and this one's a 24. So that's why I have these two sizes, is to get the old parts. You're also going to need a hose clamp. This is to put the boot back on the inner tie rod once you remove the old one. The hose clamp that's on there now is a factory one. Once that's removed, you won't be able to get that one back on. And these slim screwdrivers are what I'm going to use to get the old hose clamp off. And you're going to need the pliers to get the hose clamp off the end. And hopefully your outer tie rod came with a grease fitting and a cotter pin. To get the tire off, you're going to need a 21 millimeter, or you can use, of course, a breaker bar with a socket or a 4-way. It's front wheel drive, so the tires won't spin, but I still recommend, if you're not using the impact like I am, to break these free before you raise it all the way in the air, just to give some relief on that parking pawl. And then once you get it all the way in the air, you can finish getting them off. Be sure to use a jack stand when you raise a car in the air. So I went ahead and installed my grease fitting now, since it won't make a difference for us to put it in. So just go ahead and put it in now. So while everything is still firm, I like to go ahead and get that clamp off on the inside. You can see right there. So we need to get the flathead right in there and start to pry until you break that band. So you see here I have my flathead right in that hole in that band, and I'm just going to go ahead and pry until I can get that to give and snap like that. And just like that, it's broken. There's the band there, and right there is where I put my flathead, and I twisted, and it broke pretty easily. So now we can pull that off, and you can see that part is loose. So the easiest part here is to get this hose clamp loose here. So we'll go ahead and use the pliers and get that off. So once that's loose, just let it hang loosely right there. You can see somebody was messing with this before. It's all galled up. But all right, so before we get any of this off, we want to break this nut loose while everything is still sturdy. So this is going to be a 22 millimeter. It might be a 24 on yours. That's why I had that extra 22 prepared. So I'm going to go ahead and get the 22 millimeter on there. So you want your setup to look just like this. So, and if that's not enough leverage for you to turn that, then you can always use a hammer and knock the end right there, and that should break that loose. And once it's loose like that, now we can focus on removing the tie rod. So you can see there's a cotter pin in here that we need to remove. So you can bend that back and then use some pliers and pull that cotter pin out. All right, so now that the cotter pin is removed, I was able to get my 17mm up here. So the new part, the castle nut, is a 19mm. So like I said, this is why I needed a 17mm for this. So I'm gonna just go ahead and turn this counterclockwise, and so it's broken there. So now I'm gonna go ahead and finish getting that off. Once the castle nut is removed, there's a couple of techniques you can use to remove this ball joint. Since we're not reusing this outer tie rod, the easiest thing to do would be to hit it on top. But I always like to hit it on the side, at least to begin with, just so it can loosen it up and make it easier to hit it out from the top. So I'm going to take my hammer and I'm going to hit it on the side at least about a good 4 or 5 times, just to shake everything up. And if that doesn't pop it out, then I'll go ahead and tap it from the top, just like that. So mine fell out pretty easily after just hitting the side about 2 times. It pretty much just fell out. So I didn't have to hit it on top at all. You can see there's almost no damage on top, even though we're not, reusing it. But that's just good practice for when you're just removing these tie rods to change something else, so you can get practice of not damaging these things. So this is a practice that I like to do. Once I get the outer tie rod off, I like to count the amount of threads there are that leads up to this this nut here. So when I broke this nut, I didn't really move it back at all. I just broke it enough to get the tie rod off. So I'm gonna count the number of threads here. That way I know by reference where to put my new part. So I counted 15 threads. Now this, of course, isn't a perfect method. This is just basically just to get you started and get you, back to where you were almost, because you definitely need to get in alignment whenever you get these done anyways. So this is just to get you almost as close as possible. So 15mm is what you're going to need to hold this inner tie rod still while you use your 22mm and get that nut off. All right, so once you get that removed, then you can pull that bolt, not bolt, but you can pull this boot all the way out now. So this is why you're going to need that new hose clamp to put that boot back on. So the way this tool works is, once you find your size, you want to come right up on top. So this is how you find your size. All right, so that fits there. So now I'll put it on the new part, and that fits right in there as well. So you want this part here to fit right into that slot, and that's pretty much how this is going to work. And then this piece here slides over this and locks into here, and at the end you can put a breaker bar on, or a ratchet at the end of here, and that's how you're going to get this to turn counterclockwise and start to get those threads removed. So this is my setup right here. You can see I have my tool all the way on there. I have my right side selected. So now I can go ahead and try just a regular wrench for now and see if that's enough power to get that off. If not, then I'll move to a breaker bar. Okay, so I was able to get it loose, and you can see in real time how this tool works. So I can actually just pretty much pull this off right now and just finish turning this out by hand. Just like that. All right, so we got the old part out. So now we're gonna put the new part in. So before I do that, I'm gonna put a little bit of anti-seize on the end right here, and then get that turned in. Of course, I'm not gonna be able to get it tight. I'm just gonna be able to get it in, hand tight, and then we'll take the tool and use the tool to finish tightening it up. So I have it in there as tight as my hands can get it. So now I'm gonna get the tool out and prepare the tool over top. So just like before, we have the tool on there, but this time we're going counterclockwise, because we have to tighten. So let's go ahead and tighten this up now. All right, so we can go ahead and put this tool away now, unless you have to do the other side. So we're done. So we're gonna put this tool away. All right, slide this boot right over there and get it all the way. Make sure it's all the way back seated where it needs to be. Yep, just like that. So I have my new hose clamp, and instead of using a flathead, I'm going to use an 8mm. That's the size that's on the engine there. Yours might be a different size. And I'm going to use that to tighten this hose clamp down. So I'm going to need 2 hands for this. So I'll be back once I get this hose clamp in. So I have that tight back there, and I also have the smaller hose clamp on. So the inner is pretty much on. So now we just have to worry about putting the outer on. So we get our nut that we took off earlier, and we start to thread that up. If you remember earlier, I counted 15 threads when I took this off. So I'm going to put it back to 15 threads, and then I'll start to put my outer tie rod on. So now that I counted my 15, I put a little bit of anti-seize at the end, the very tip of the inner tie rod threads. And I'm just going to go ahead until I meet the nut, but I also want to make sure that my tie rod is facing straight up when I come to a stop. So let's see, I think I can probably get one more spin in there. And like that. So now, let's see, that is like a quarter turn. So that's almost perfect, because I took about a quarter turn when I broke the original nut loose. So that's a good starting point for us. So I'm gonna go ahead, and I'm not gonna lock that in yet. I'm just gonna see if this goes in here nicely. I have to bend this a little bit. You gotta bend these things so they can actually go in. And you see how that lined up almost perfect. I didn't have to move this, because I try not to move this at all the whole time I'm doing this job, and it fits right up in there. So I feel pretty confident about this. The counting method that I use, I don't really have any issues once I'm able to drive it at least to the shop to get the alignment done without any major issues. So we're gonna go ahead and tighten this castle nut all the way up. So I have it tight now, but I also replaced my regular cotter pin with a cotter clip. For some reason, the one that came with it was a little bit too big. I could fold the cotter pin, or and just use half of it, but I'd rather just go with the cotter clip. So we're done with the outer end of the tie rod. So all we have to do now is lock this piece all the way in and move back a little bit while we were doing things. So this is a 24mm, and this is a 19mm to hold the outer tie rod while you use a 24mm and lock this nut on. And if you have to make any adjustments, then what you would do is you would undo this nut here, and you would take your 15mm and you would turn this, and this is how you would make your adjustments. If you turn this counterclockwise, then it would basically put more of the thread into the outer tie rod and pulling the back of the wheel more to the inside. And if you turn it counterclockwise, of course, it's going to do the exact opposite. It's going to push the front of the wheel more to the inside. So this is how you make your adjustments before you get it ready to get in alignment. All right, so that's locked down now. Everything is good. We have both of the hose clamps on there. We have the inner tie tied down. We have the outer of it, everything locked up. We have the cast nut on and the cotter pin in. So everything is safe and secure. We can go ahead and get our tire back on. Well, that's it, guys. That is how you change your inner and outer tie rod on a 2015 Toyota Corolla.